Hello everyone! So today I'm here to do a first impressions for you guys. So what I am trying out for the first time ever is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. This is a liquid. And I've got two shades here because one, I'm just better off that way with my makeup business, so that I've got a light shade and a dark shade. I can mix them to create almost any shade within this range. So I've got Y415 and Y215, so I'll take them out. These have been sitting in my drawers for like 3 months and I've been so desperate to try them, but I haven't had a chance to film. So Y415 is this colour here, so it's quite dark. And then this is the Y215 and it's like pale-ish. So I'm gonna have to mix these two together because I've got fake tan on. I don't have it on my face though, so yeah. But what I'm gonna do is I've already cleansed my face and applied moisturiser. So what I'm going to do now is put some primer on. And some people I know don't do this for first impressions, but for me, I always put primer on myself and my clients, and I feel like it's really important to do that, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. So today for my primer I'm going to use the Stila One Step Correct primer, and I'm just going to pop that all over my face. Now I'm also going to be applying my foundation differently for each side of my face. So one side of my face I'm going to use a brush and the other side I'm going to use a beauty blender, just to see how they work, because I use both on a regular basis, just depends how I'm feeling for the day, and I just want to see what the coverage is going to be like and whether it's streaky with a brush or anything like that, just to sort of get the feel for it. Now the lighting might change a little bit, so hopefully it'll be alright. It's sort of like sunny and cloudy and it's really glary, so hopefully I'm not going to be like glaring at you guys the whole time. Right, so I'm going to mix the two on the back of my hand to create a custom shade, I think. Oh no, it's pretty light. So the consistency, I don't know how to show you guys, is quite runny. As you can see, it's running down my hand, so it's quite thin, so I'll be interested to see what the coverage is like. Whoa, that's dark. That's one pump of each and that's the colour I've got. And that looks like it'll match really well actually. Might be a touch dark. I might add a little tiny bit more of the lighter one. So it's a pump and a half of the light and a pump of the darker one. That looks like it might be too light, but I'm going to blend that out and see what it looks like, because I want to see if it's going to oxidise as well. So what oxidising means is it just changes colour on your skin. So everyone's got a different pH in their skin, and some foundations react to that and change the colour and darken the foundation, so we'll just see. So I'm going to do the brush on this side. Blends out really nicely. And it doesn't have any sort of a scent either, which is nice. So technically that's 2.5 pumps that I've put on my entire face there. Coverage is quite nice, looks very natural. So I'm going to just, I'm going to have to add some more, definitely. So I'm just going to grab my beauty blender. It's damp. I'm just going to... Okay, so the beauty blender is not a good option because it seems to just like suck it all up. Okay, well, I'm going to need way more than that. So I'm going to do another 2 pumps. I'll do 2 more pumps of the dark and 2.5 pumps of the lighter one. See, the colour seems to match me fairly well that I've mixed up, so that's not too bad. Okay, let's try that again and see how far we get with it. As you can see, I've got a ginormous pimple, or a scar I should say, on my head. So that's, today's a good day to test this out, I suppose. I have quite a bit of redness in my cheeks and it doesn't seem to be covering it up all that well, to be honest, with the beauty blender. So I'm going to just go ahead and say let's ditch the Beauty Blender because it doesn't seem to blend out very well with that. This side looks really, really nice, like very natural. Coverage isn't amazing, but it's like pretty natural, but this side it's just patchy from the Beauty Blender. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the brush for the rest of my face. It is really nice though, like so far it's looking really, really nice, very natural, very much like skin. The only thing so far that I'm not happy about is the coverage isn't amazing. Like, I don't know what it claimed to be. Let's have a little read of the box. Created for the very highest definition technologies of film and television industry, Ultra HD advanced formulas look invisible on 4K camera and to the naked eye. Perfect for makeup pros and for you. Feels like a second skin, provides medium coverage. So it's supposed to be medium coverage. I don't know. Like, is that after you build it up, or because I've got a little breakout here and you can still see it. I don't know if you guys can, but I can still see it. But it definitely looks like skin. So what else does it say? The light diffusing formula looks natural and makes skin look flawless and feel moisturised. Exclusive 4K complex guarantees invisible, natural and comfortable makeup. The fluid texture blends in seamlessly and conceals imperfections to unify the skin's texture. Great for all skin types and features a full range of shades to cover all skin tones, which is true, it does have a really good range. In Australia we don't have the best range, but I'm going to go ahead and do another 2 pumps of the dark and 2 pumps of the light. I might need to add some more light. So this is technically, I guess, the second layer of foundation that I've added. So hopefully that's all I'll need to add, because otherwise it's a bit of a waste really, because you shouldn't need this much for medium coverage. I would call that light to medium coverage on this side here, but let's just see if I can... Okay, so that's covered up my pimples a little better. I'm going to have to conceal them with some concealer, but that's alright. The brush is definitely the option. I wouldn't use a Beauty Blender with this, which is probably a good thing, so a lot of people don't have Beauty Blenders. I think what I might do though is I'm going to blend it all out with a brush, and then I'm going to go back and use a Beauty Blender just to bounce it over the top to remove anything excess, because I feel like it's a little cakey in areas because it is an extra layer. But beautiful finish, like really impressed with that. I think the colour's good. So far I don't believe it's oxidised at all. It seems to match me really well. So I'm just going to go with my Beauty Blender and just bounce over my skin very gently, because I don't want to move anything. I just want to take up anything extra that I've added. So it's covered this pimple here fairly well. Like, it's a pretty mad pimple, and it's done a pretty good job there. So doesn't do a whole lot for my dark circles, but that's alright. It's not claiming to cover those up, so that's not a big deal. Looks really good on my nose. I've got really large pores. Actually, let's talk about that. I've got humongous pores, and they are like the size of the Grand Canyon, and they are looking so much better than they ever have with any foundation. So that's really impressive for me, because that is something I'm really self-conscious about, is my pores, and it's covered them up really well. So that's amazing. And I've got a little bit of dry skin. I should mention what my skin type is. So my skin type is combination. So it's oily in patches and it's dry in patches, and then it's normal in patches. So I've got probably the worst skin you could have for foundation, because the foundations aren't really made, they say they're made for all skin types, but normally they aren't. Like, even my favourite drugstore foundations, they claim to be, well, the thing is with them, they usually are made for specific skin types, and for me, I always buy the combination oily ones, but they're made more for oilier skin, and because I've got dry patches, they then stick to the dry patches, and it's just really difficult to find anything that does well on me. So this looks really, really good. I feel like it might be a touch dark, but it's not like anything overly noticeable, I don't feel. So I'm not going to try and fix that up or anything, but the coverage and the way it sits on me is stunning so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump off camera, put some concealer on. I'm going to be using the NARS, what is it? The NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I'm going to jump off camera, conceal my under eye area. I'll probably put a bit of it around my nose and on that pimple and these little suckers here. And then I will set my foundation with some translucent powder and we'll come back and have a look how it looks then, and then I'll go and do the rest of my makeup and come back and check in again. So I'll quickly jump off camera and do that now. Okay, so the lighting has changed again, but I've set everything, I've put concealer and set everything, and it's looking beautiful. Now that I've set it with powder, I feel like it really looks like skin, and that's a big deal because I've never ever had a foundation do that before. Only thing that's interesting or concerning, I don't know yet, is that it's oxidized on my hand a bit. So it has oxidized a tiny little bit on my face, but nothing I'm too concerned about. So I will zoom you guys in so you can have a closer look at my skin, and then I'm gonna jump off camera and do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and check in with you guys. So okay, so that's how my skin looks close up. So you can see it's very, very skin-like, I guess, is the only way I can explain it. It's very flawless. So that is how it's looking at the moment. I will check back in with you guys in a minute. Hey guys, so it is now 12:47, so it's been, what, like half an hour almost? Just over half an hour, I think. And I've applied the rest of my makeup. If you're wanting to see this makeup look, it will be up next week, so you can look out for that. But I'm incredibly impressed by this foundation, which really pisses me off because it's so expensive. So I was sort of like, I wanted to like it because it's, you know, it's hyped up, and I really don't have a foundation that I absolutely adore at the moment. So I'm glad I like it, but at the same time I'm sort of like, oh, it's like $65 a bottle. So if you have the money, I highly recommend buying it because it is incredible so far. So what I'm going to do is, because this is my first impression, I'll just explain how this is going to work. So in a few hours time I will check back in with you guys and let you know how it's wearing. So far it's wearing really well. Actually, I'm going to set my makeup with some setting spray because I want it to stay nice. So I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. If I can get the lid off of it. So I've set that now, and yeah, so I'm going to see how it wears during the day. I'll check back in at, what time should I check in? What's the time now? 1:45. I'll check back in around 4 o'clock. Now, little disclaimer, I don't know how many times I'm going to check in and how long I'm going to wear it for. I'd like to wear it all night, but I'm going out to a friend's place tonight and then maybe to the pub afterwards. So if it's wearing really well this afternoon, then I'm just going to like do up my eye makeup a little bit more and leave the rest of it. However, if it's not wearing well, I'm going to have to take it off and start again. So I sort of will just have to wait and see, and you guys will obviously find out in a minute what happens, but I really would like to not have to reapply my makeup, so hopefully it sits well. But so far it looks stunning. I don't know what you guys will think of it and how it will look on camera. I've got like a little screen I can see here, and it's looking really beautiful, and it really does just look like skin, and that's incredible because foundation never does that for me. I always look really disgusting with foundation on because I have very, very textured skin. So I'm very, very happy with it so far, and yeah, so I'll check in with you guys in a few hours and let you know how it's going. Okay, please excuse the background noise. Hunter's got the TV on, or I've got the TV on for Hunter I should say, and my camera battery is flashing at me, so I'm going to be really quick. It is 3 o'clock, so I thought I would check in with you guys. So far, makeup is looking flawless. So happy. I've eaten something, so my lipstick's sort of worn off, and a little bit might have worn off on the outside of my lips. Nope, didn't even wear off there. So I will quickly zoom you guys in so you can see my skin and how it's all looking at the moment. But so it's been on for 3 hours? Just over 3 hours. Okay, so this is my skin close up, and it's looking really, really good still. Like, yeah, you can see my pores and that, but only, like, it's only very minor, and I haven't gone oily at all. So any sort of shine that you can see like on my nose here and here is just from the highlight I added, and so far very happy with it. So it's been on for 3 hours, just over 3 hours, and so far it's looking really good, not settling into any fine lines or anything like that, and yeah, it hasn't really worn off anywhere either, which is really great. So, and I've been like leaning on Hunter and all that sort of stuff, and it hasn't worn off at all. So far I am very, very happy with it. So I'll check back in with you guys in probably a couple more hours, maybe at like 5 o'clock. Hey guys, so it is now just before 5 o'clock, so I thought I'd do my final check-in. So I'm not going to check in again tonight because I'm going to go and have a shower and wash my hair and wash all of this off so I can get ready for tonight. So overall, incredibly impressed with this. Like, wow, it's so good. I love it so much. So I will zoom you guys in. This is how it's looking after 5 hours of wear. I think it looks really, really good still. So that's awesome. It's worn off slightly here. That's not, I haven't touched up or powdered or anything today. So I think it's holding up really well. And you can see, I forgot to mention earlier that all of my makeup on top went on really, really well. Like I didn't have any trouble with it at all. So that was really, really good. For a second, so it looks really, really nice on. Like I haven't gotten oily at all, anywhere. It's amazing. So I'm just looking in the mirror in front of me, and like it's a little tiny bit glowy there, but it's not at all greasy or oily, and it hasn't settled in any fine lines. Maybe a little bit in my smile line, but that happens quite often. But otherwise it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look gross or anything like that. So I've only been wearing it for 5 hours though, so you know, like that's what, half a day of work. So you'd probably want to wear it for longer than that, obviously, when you're doing your makeup, but for a night out it would last really, really well. And I have to mention too, it's winter here at the moment, so it's not overly hot, so I didn't sweat or anything, so I don't know how it would go if you were sweaty or whatever. So I would highly recommend it. I give it 5 stars. It is absolutely amazing.